You know that feeling, right? The passive-aggressive email that lands in your inbox, that dismissive comment in a meeting, or just that general vibe of walking on eggshells? That's workplace incivility. And it's not just annoying, it's incredibly costly. Today, we're going to dive into some real, research-based solutions that can actually transform a toxic environment into a place where people can thrive.
So, where are we getting all this from? Our guide for this explainer is the book Fostering a Civil Workplace. Now, what's great about this is that it goes way beyond just vague advice. It offers a real blueprint, and it's all built on solid research. We're going to distill some of its most powerful strategies for you.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to really diagnose the problem of incivility. Then we'll look at the solutions on 3 different levels, starting with what you as an individual can do. Then we'll move up to the massive impact of leadership, and finally, we'll look at the role of the entire organization. Sound good? Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, the problem of incivility. Let's be real for a second. While some workplaces are fantastic, a whole lot of them are, well, kind of dysfunctional. So what's really happening here?
So what does this incivility actually look like day to day? It's usually not one big dramatic blow-up. It's more often a subtle, persistent pattern of disrespect. It's the small things that just add up and wear you down over time.
Our source points to several key symptoms. You've got the really obvious ones, of course, like bullying, intimidation, and harassment. But it also highlights the newer challenges, like the friction that comes with remote and hybrid work. And what's often at the very root of all of it? Just a fundamental breakdown in basic communication.
Understanding the problem is one thing, but the real power is in the solutions. And we're going to start at the ground level, with you. These are strategies for the individual. Because the good news is, you absolutely do not have to wait for your boss or your company to start making a change.
So the source gives us a really practical 4-step approach here. It all starts with improving your own communication. Then, it's about learning to handle disputes directly instead of letting them fester. From there, it moves into strategies for dealing with those, difficult coworkers. And most importantly, it's about proactively building genuinely empathetic relationships.
And what does building empathetic relationships actually mean in practice? Well, it's all about forging real connections. This could mean sharing experiences, finding those common goals that get the whole team excited, actively encouraging your coworkers, and really understanding how your own unique strengths can help lift everybody up.
Of course, all the individual effort in the world can only go so far. And that brings us to the second, crucial level of solutions, the impact of leadership. Because let's face it, the tone is always set from the top.
According to the research, truly effective leadership in this area rests on 4 key pillars. It's about building a foundation of trust. It's about demonstrating real authenticity, because people can tell a mile away when you're faking it. It requires adaptability, and critically, it requires the skill to step in and navigate conflicts fairly before they spiral out of control.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this point. The research is emphatic. Effective leadership is the single most important factor when it comes to shaping a positive and productive workplace. It is the foundation that everything else is built on, period.
But hey, even the best leaders can't do it all alone. They need a supportive structure around them. As the book really drives home, for changes to be real and lasting, the solutions have to exist at every single level of an organization.
Which brings us to our final and biggest piece of the puzzle, the role of the organization. This is all about moving from individual actions and leadership styles to building company-wide systems that are designed for success.
So the source outlines a few key strategies here. And it's not just about having a rule book. It's about creating this whole ecosystem of support. Think wellness programs that help build resilience, or training opportunities that actually develop skills in communication and conflict resolution. It's about fostering a culture where people are always learning, and then backing it all up with a really clear code of conduct, so everyone knows exactly what's expected.
Okay, so we've looked at the 3 essential layers: the individual, the leader, and the organization. Now, let's put it all together and see how they create a truly civil workplace.
It all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful formula. When you have empowered individuals who are practicing good communication, and they're supported by effective leaders who are building trust, and they're all operating within a supportive organization, that is when you get a civil and successful workplace. See how each part reinforces the others? It's not one or the other. It's all of them together.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question to really think about for your own situation. What is one thing, just one thing, your workplace could start doing tomorrow to foster a little more civility?
Maybe it's something small that you do, a change a leader could make, or a new system the company could adopt.
We've really only scratched the surface of all the amazing insights in this book, so if you want to dive deeper into these research-based strategies, I highly recommend checking out Fostering a Civil Workplace. Thanks so much for joining us.